Alright, back again, and today what I wanted to do is show you how to clean up some old game carts, and also on top of that I wanted to show you how to kind of refurbish some older ones if you have any older ones. For example, here's a really rough one. What happens from time to time with some of these Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64 games is because the front and the back are made out of two different kinds of plastic, the back part here will essentially turn colors, usually about 90% of most of these games. And it really does, it takes away from the look of the game itself. You could have a really sharp looking cover here, but then you have this really hideous looking back. And there's a simple fix that you can do to fix it up here and clean it up and get it all on the way to recovery, I guess, if you want to call it that. But today what we'll do is we'll use Super Mario Kart here. This is one that I picked up in really rough shape. I saw it sitting there, and Mario Kart's a good game to have. Picked it up because it's completely filthy. The bottom pins here are all oxidized. I'm not sure if this game's gonna work, but what we're gonna try to do is clean it up, polish everything up, and then get it going here. Padoka85 asked me how I clean my carts. He said that he uses some steel wool to clean up the contact points, and I use the same. Normally I would use an eraser if it's just some small dirt or something on the bottom of it, but when it's really bad oxidization, kind of like this one is, I definitely use steel wool. Now remember all those crap games that you used to see in the stores? Not to say that they're all crap, but I mean some of the older sports games, you would find a lot of the games that just never made it. Those games are perfect as donors. What I mean by that is, like I said, with these back parts here, they go yellow, and if you have a really sharp game that you like a lot, or you have a favorite here, like Mario Kart, for example, that's just on its way to getting that way, and you want to bring it back to life, get one of those old carts that those sports games that nobody ever played, and you usually pick them up for really cheap. And what we'll use off of those is we'll use the back part off of it. Now the only thing that you're going to need to change it out is you're going to need one of the specialty screwdrivers here to get those screws out. But easy enough, you can just pop the backs right off of these things and put them on most carts. Now there are two different kinds of these backs here. You have your basic one here, your original. This one's nothing special. And then you have your ones like this here, which have a ground pin on the inside here. Now this pin is essential for some games, those notably being Star Fox here. As you can see on the bottom here, they have the pin. Another one being Yoshi's Island. You can see on the inside here. Yeah, you can also find sports games that have those pins in great shape, and the reason why these things usually are in such great shape is because nobody plays these sports games. They're hardly ever taken out, they're hardly ever put in, they're just, in really sharp condition. So you can find these things in almost mint condition, and they're great for parts. So, without further ado, let's try and get this, this Mario Kart cleaned up, make it look like new, and pop it in the old Super NES here and play it on the TV. Hopefully we got enough time here. We'll try our best. What you're going to need is some steel wool. You're going to need some kind of screwdriver here to open up the cart. Also, I recommend some hand soap, an old toothbrush, one that's been that you don't use anymore. Hopefully it'll be somewhat clean. Old toothbrushes are a really great thing to have in order for like cleaning small crevices and things like that. I recommend not to throw these things away because you can still use them, And then here's something that I use in Japan here. This is actually a power cleaner, and it's kind of like a sponge cleaner. It feels abrasive, kind of like a sponge. Probably not going to be able to find this in other countries, I'm guessing. But if you find like a sponge, kind of a coarse sponge, you could probably do the same thing with some hand soap and that. And you need a bucket of water, and actually you could do this in the sink, which is what I would have done, but for video purposes here, I want to try and do it as quick as possible without any cut and splicing. And a towel, alright? So let's get this thing going. What I've done already is I've taken the screws out of our Mario Kart here, and you can pop the case off like this, and then you can see the board. You can take a look at some of the oxidization that's going on up here on the board, and we're going to clear that up using our steel wool. So we'll put that one aside. We got the top part here, and we got our bottom part. This bottom part has got a sticker on it too. It says best beef. Anyway, we're going to take that bottom part, we're going to slide that aside. We're going to take our donor cart here, and like I said, take the screws out of this one. And make sure you don't mix these boards up. It'll be really funny if you accidentally mix the boards up and you wind up playing soccer when it says Mario Kart on the front. And we'll take our back piece here, and this one's in a lot better shape. It's not perfect, but it's going to look a lot better on this Mario Kart when we get it all polished up. Next, what we're going to do, move on over here to our bucket of water. Hopefully we can get a decent shot of this. I'm going to try and do this all in real time here. So, grab our sponge, and we're going to stick this in here, and I'm going to try to scrub the hell out of this. You can already see the dirt just coming right off of it. And with these stickers here, now you can get the stickers wet. You don't want to douse the stickers in water, because what will happen is eventually they'll start peeling off, and you don't want to rub them too hard with the sponge here either. You want it to pretty much stay somewhat dry, you know, not super wet. And like I said, scrub the hell out of this top part here, which is where that sticker residue was. We got about 6 minutes. Hopefully we can get this thing wired up and put back together. Alright, you rinse it off. You can see how it's changed already, right? You can see the cover of it. It's getting a lot better. 7 minutes. Alright, then we're going to take some of our dish soap or our hand soap, put a little bit on that toothbrush, and go into the crevices. Alright. Get that all like that. Get our towel here. Wipe this thing off. Alright. Here's our Mario Kart cover here. As you can see, it's in a lot better shape, a lot better condition. Make sure you wipe out all the water here before you slap it back together. Now we're going to take our Mario Kart board here, take our steel wool, we just want to rub it across the edge here. Get all this oxidization off. Hopefully these points will be all shiny. Alright, 8 minutes, 36 seconds. We're going to slap this into the back of our donor cart. Usually these donor carts are in really good shape, so you don't have to clean them up too much. I'm going to pop the cover back on there. As you can see, you know, there is a little bit of a difference between the color here. It's not completely perfect, but it looks a lot better than what it did before. And to avoid any more time loss here, what we'll do is we'll take this cart and pop it in. Oh. And voila. So this is kind of a quick vid here on how you can clean up some of your carts, and yeah, you can do this for Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, it doesn't matter, you can scrub them all up, change the parts out with these kind of donor ones. You can see here I got a lot of these sports donors that I've just changed the parts out. I use these ones here for just testing purposes, but yeah, that's one way how you can take something that you really care about, like, you know, Mario Kart or one of these older games, put it back together and make it look like new. But like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching.